Where is safe to buy properties in Ekpe right now? This has been one question people have asked over and over since I posted that video on why most estates are closed in Ekpe. Have gotten so many calls. Where is safe? Where is safe? Where is safe? The truth is, there are still so many safe lands to buy in Ekpe at this time, and the advice I've always given people is, now is the time to buy Ekpe. Now that all this is happening, now is the time to buy Ekpe, and I'll give you reasons for that. The only problem is that lands in Ekpe right now are no longer cheap for so many reasons, for reasons beyond our control. Lands in Ekpe are very expensive. Safe lands in Ekpe are expensive. The truth is, there are very few titled lands in Ekpe, few estate lands in Ekpe, very few of them. And right now, the most popular in Ekpe, Lakeview by Landmark, sells for 18 million naira per plot. 18 million naira per plot, and this is not even all inclusive. So you see that a sea of O land from an estate in Ekpe would cost about 22 to 25 million naira at this time. So lands in Ekpe are no longer cheap. Now then the question arises, what are the safe lands to buy in Ekpe? For those who have the money to go for titled properties, go for titled properties and forget about title perfection. For those who do not have that huge amount to buy titled properties, there are freehold lands, residential freehold land you can buy. Lands that are free from government acquisition. There are so many of them, but the problem now is freehold lands that used to be very, very affordable are no longer affordable. And this is why most people shy away from buying lands in Ekpe at this time, because you're seeing a land in Ekpe in an area that is still largely bushy, nothing is happening, but it is freehold. But because the owners know that these lands are freehold and also fall under the residential zone, they hike the prices. So if you're buying from family, lands that naturally you would have bought maybe 1 million naira per plot from family, families are selling lands for as high as 4 million naira to developers. Now developers are now selling as high as, let's say, 7, 8, 10 million naira. 7, 8, 10 million naira. So it's crazy at this time. But for everybody asking, are there still good lands? Where can we buy lands? There are good lands. Look for estates with C of O. Lakeview is there. Or look for estates that are freehold. Now, residential freehold, be very, very careful. Residential freehold, there are so many of them, but they are also not cheap. Residential freehold will cost about 7 to 10 million naira. Now the ones with C of O will cost about 15. Lakeview started with 15 million naira. Then after their launch, they took it to 18 million naira. It's now left to the buyers to determine if you go for freehold or if you go for C of O. When you go for C of O, the only downside to C of O land is that they are very expensive. That's really downside to C of O land. It's very expensive. So sometimes you can want to argue that, why will I buy a land of almost 20 million naira in Ekpe where I cannot build right now? Like, I still have to wait for some years to build. You can argue that, but the truth is, C of O lands in Ekpe are very, very limited in supply. You don't get to see so much of that. Even freehold too, you don't get to see so much of freehold land. So, but the ones that we have in Ekpe, or the ones you see in Ekpe, are also pricey, because Why will you buy a land that is not titled for 7 to 10 million naira? 3 years ago, you would buy a C of O land or a government allocation land on the Lekki Express Road around the Halaro for 5 million naira. 2-3 years ago, 5 million naira you buy. But right now, a freehold land, 7-8 million naira. So when you do your mathematics, surpasses that are saying, okay, 10 million, 20 million is too much to buy a C of O land. They settle for freehold land and start the perfection immediately, because the last time I asked to perfect a freehold land in Ekpe is about 2 to 2.5 million naira. Once you can verify it is freehold and it falls under the zoning regulation for that kind of development, you will get your C of O. So that is that about that. And time for you to get your C of O is another thing. We don't know. Bureaucracy has made things very, very slow. So I heard it could take almost 1 year to get your C of O out. So it's not easy. So that is why you would see that most lands with C of O are very expensive. Very, very expensive, because most of these guys might have gone the extra mile to and pay some money to get all those things out in time. So there are still very good lands in Ekpe. So either you're going for a C of O land or you're going for a land that is residential freehold. Anything aside this, you are going to ratify. You are going to ratify. So you can still buy a land for be 1 million naira if you can get and ratify, but that is not, I would not advise anybody to do that at this time. Go for a C of O, go for a titled land, or go for a residential freehold. That is that about that. So some of you have been asking, this one, the title is survey. I've always told you survey is not a property title. So for you to determine what the status of the land is, you have to send your surveyor to site. Aside getting a survey, send your surveyor to site to pick coordinates by himself and determine what the status of the land is. So there are still very many good lands in Ekpe, and now is even the time. Now is even the time. The reason why I said now is the time is government is becoming more deliberate. So aside all those projects you see in the film city, the food hub, aside those projects, last week an information came about government want to dualize and reform the Lekki-Ekpe link bridge. You see that bridge that connects Alaro city to Ekpe? Government wants to dualize that particular bridge. So once that happens, that is more accessibility. It simply means that Ekpe is going to be more accessible to Lagos Island. So now is the time, and also we've had so many speculations about the approved international airport, nobody knowing where exactly that land is. But right now I can tell you, I know the area where the airport is going to be. I saw the signage already by the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria. I think Lagos State also, they posted a signage there saying, do not buy this land. This land has been zoned for airport development whatsoever. So you'll get to see that. With that information and that of the Lekki-Ekpe link bridge, and also the springing up of more estates in on the Lekki-Ekpe Express Road, you should start seeing reasons to buy properties in Ekpe. Even last week, I saw an information that workers in the refinery area are already saying there are very few residential developments for them around that area. So if all this information are true, now is the time for you to buy lands and develop estates in Ekpe. Until we see again, stay safe, keep investing in real estate, safe real estate. I am Patrick, your Lagos Realtor. If you want some of all these deals, some of these good lands in Ekpe, Lagos, Nigeria, reach out to me. My number is on the screen. Like our video, subscribe to our channel so that you get information every time we drop them. Until we see again, stay safe, keep investing in real estate, and be peaceful.